right, welcome everybody to the arena. Thanks for checking the show out. Make sure you're subscribed so that you can drop comments on the video. Today we are talking about the convention season and how to pick up good art and some original comic book art, some undiscovered artist art pickups, and what to kind of look for when you go to a convention. Or anybody in the chat, let us know if there's any conventions you are planning on attending this year. We'd love to hear which ones have caught your eye and what you are planning on going to. But I've got a great panel here tonight. A great panel of upstanding citizens ready to share some art with you. We'll let everybody say hello, starting out with Dapper Dan finally come on to hang out with us.
Hey, what's up, everyone? Thanks again, MT, for having me on.
I'm a Dapper Dan man.
Thank you again for having me on. Yeah, I'm excited to come on here. The show, I check you guys out every Wednesday, and yeah, I'm excited. Appreciate it again.
Awesome. Thanks, buddy. Thanks for being here. Eddie Fitzfury's back with us. What's up, buddy?
Hey, how's it going? I brought some art with me, but I also brought some fake art that I want to talk about and how to see the difference between the two.
Awesome. Looking forward to that. And of course, Mr. Bree in the house.
Hey guys,
Sunny Philadelphia.
I got no art. I'm just here to hang out. I'm just I don't collect art. It's something I've never I don't know. I've never gotten into.
That's all right. Well, let me ask you this: are you planning on going to any conventions this year?
I also do not go to conventions.
You've never been to one?
I have been to one. Yes,
you have been to one. I have been to a convention.
Yeah, I have been to probably one or two in my
life. Big ones or little local ones?
No, just little ones. Just actually down the shore. Believe it or not, yeah, down in Ocean City, New Jersey. They used to have them every year when I was a kid on the boardwalk, and yeah, I would go to it every year like religiously. But I don't know. Conventions have gotten. They've gotten it's not really about comic books anymore, from what I understand.
Yeah. And I was gonna make that point that some of the best scores that I've gotten have been at more regional, smaller cons over the years. You can get a lot of really killer deals versus the big fan expos. C2E2 just happened, which marked the start of the convention season. And if you have 360 convention exclusive comics, they don't really seem to be exclusive anymore. But at any rate, I mean, there's fun at all places. The last Fan Expo convention I went to, there was hardly any comic books there. So I feel you, but go support your little local con. Jackal talks about his Hickory Con that he goes to consistently. Oh, here's Cat 60 already. So let us know what you guys might have on the docket this year to go to a convention. If not, perhaps this will be the year you go to your first one. Let's go ahead and call out the chat. I will get a little bit of tunes going. A little tunage going. And then we'll get right into it. GTK Comics. God, consistent. Always the first in the door to say hello. James Pomictor is here. What's up, James? Good to see you, good buddy. Eddie Fitzfury in the chat and on the panel. My buddy Roger's here. Everyone smash that like button. Yes, please smash that like button. We'll deploy Linda here directly. Tony NY is babysitting tonight, so he can't be with us, but we would like to go on record as blaming Paul for why he's not here. So hashtag blame Paul. Brandon 12 is in the house. Catch the arena. Right. He's catching up.
Arena.
Gotham Street Shop is in the house. The Gotham City. Cat 60's here. Comic Cons let's get to be that way. Anime is huge right now. I am an agoraphobic comic fan as well. Oh yes, he doesn't like people. I thought there was a Mystic Probe. Mystic Probe is somebody who doesn't like people, but he doesn't like to leave the house. I think is what that actually means. At any rate, I want to. Oh, did I not copy that link? All right, I'll drop the link to the Patreon. Any of our Patreon supporters are welcome to hop on the show and share off any comic books they picked up and art or anything else they want to come talk about. Love to have you on the show. Just hit me up on the Instas and I will get you on there. So big shout out to our Patreon members. Yeah. Yes. Oh, I have to upload this video. Funny you should mention that. I was working on clipping some videos from the old Hanna-Barbera cartoons, and amazing how much of those had bondage and tentacle stuff in it. A shocking amount. Let me see if I can find that one. This may slow down the show, but all right, I can't find it in time. I'll get to it. I'll call those videos up later while people are talking. All right, at any rate, let me turn this off. Let's get right into it. Let's start out with Dapper Dan. This is the arena, so you have come to battle in the arena, and that means trivia. You got to get
Oh, Lord.
Trivia questions.
Oh no.
There is one card.
Lord.
There is one card. Uh-oh. What happened to my score?
Hopefully it's a mouse card.
I just randomly pulled it out of the deck here. A lot of times comic book karma goes in your favor. There are 4 questions on the card. They go from easiest to hardest. Oh, don't tell me I deleted all those. That'll be terrifying. All right.
Be negative.
Here we go, buddy.
Negative.
Who first trained Doctor Strange in the ways of the mystic arts?
I know.
I can't think of his name. Man, this is gonna go bad for me.
Well, it was a she in the movies, if that helps.
Yeah.
Who's Lee's sister?
What?
Yo mama. He said,
Your mama. Your bow-legged sister.
if somebody in the chat can answer this before he gets the answer, I'll give you the points for it. All right, well, we're going to move on. It was the Ancient One. The Ancient One. Who was played by a bald woman in the movie. And it was funny because in China, they called her an Irish monk because they have the problem with Tibet and the Buddhists. But in the rest of the movies, it was a Tibetan Buddhist monk.
I'm not good with questions, let you know right off the bat.
Hey, you're going to fight through this, buddy. This is one you have a very high percentage chance of getting. What one of the 3 alter egos used by Monica Rambeau? Monica Rambeau was multiple characters over the years. So a lot of this is very recent info. We'll start with the most obvious one. What was she first introduced as in the comics? She had a big afro, a white costume.
Yeah. I'm telling you, man, I'm going blank. I hate doing questions.
All right. Captain Marvel, Photon, and Spectrum. Spectrum I didn't know. But remember, that was like during the, what was it, the WandaVision?
Yeah, WandaVision, yeah. I'm telling you, dude, I freeze up on questions.
All right, we're going to get there. We'll ease you into this. The comic book duo of Tyrone Johnson and Tandy Bowen are better known as what 2 superheroes?
Big idea.
The pair of Tyrone Johnson and Tandy Bowen are better known as what 2 superheroes? They had a short-lived TV show where she was like a dancing person, I think. But nobody watched it. It was on like Hulu or something like that.
Yeah, it was only like 1 season.
They're in Spider-Man a lot.
All right, Brian 12ish for the win. Cloak and Dagger. I didn't know her name was Tandy Bowen. Tyrone, I remember, but Tandy, God, I wouldn't have got that in a million years.
James got that first.
Who did?
James Poe, didn't he?
Oh, James Poe Victor. God, James Poe Victor is high on the board here. We're gonna get one. We're gonna get one here for you.
Mr. Klecker, don't worry. I'm gonna make you look good.
I don't know if anyone can do that at this point.
If I
Yeah.
find a Miles Morales question, I will pause the show and track you down to ask you for it. All right, this one you've got a real good chance of getting this.
All
What
right.
are the 2 heroic names of Scarlet Witch's 2 children?
I'm telling you, man. I just go blank when I get questions, and I know
That's
the
all right.
answers is just.
It's all right. We'll think about it. Tell me what team they were a part of. 2007.
Oh, Young Avengers.
They were part of the
Yeah,
Young
never gonna
Avengers.
come
Yeah,
back.
Young Avengers. Mm,
You had to get all 3, Brian Twelvish.
Can you phone a friend?
yeah, I'll call a friend. Go ahead.
Well,
Ed.
let's see if anybody in the chat can get it.
Well, I'm going to call Brian.
I know. One is Wicked, right?
Yes. Wiccan is correct, and Speed is the other. Speed and Wiccan. Speed and Wiccan. All right, well, we'll try again here in a minute. Let's head on over to Eddie Fury for his abuse.
Jeez.
Oh, my
4
goodness.
questions on the card. You get more weight for the arena answers. All right. What is the famous skyscraper that historically played home to the Fantastic Four?
All right, give me 4 choices.
The Fantastic Four building is called what building?
Come on.
The Baxter Building.
All right. There you go.
Thanks, James.
What happened to Spider-Man's original short-lived vehicle, the Spider-Mobile?
Oh, they let Supergirl drive it.
This is a mechanic question.
They
Mechanic.
let Batgirl drive it and she wrecked it. She was doing
I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna say yes because it got crashed into a river. I'm gonna give you points for that.
she was doing a side show and she lost control and went in the river.
All right, I'm gonna give you points for that.
Brian, back me up.
Yes, that's what happened.
Yeah,
Yep.
see?
Why not? All right, what superhero team debuted roster? What superhero? Oh God, this is a Mickey Mouse question. What superheroes team debuted roster included the members Vance Astro, Charlie 27, and Martin X?
Well, that was the Mod Squad.
Close.
That's fun.
They had their own movie. In fact, they've had what, 3 movies now? 2 movies now?
I always
They
liked
were-
Link.
They were each member of the team
Guardians.
was from a different planet in our solar system.
Guardians.
Guardians of the Galaxy. Brian Twelvish, you got it right. Oh, wow. Brian Twelvish got that one. Brian Twelvish is also, he is tied for the most correct answers.
James Cole got it first.
We've got to type it all out. Guardian, there's different teams of Guardians, actually.
I'll take the half credit from James.
All right. Very important character. He's about to make his Marvel Cinematic Universe debut. What superhero was haunted by a dark half of his personality called the Void? The Void.
That was Ralph Wong's Secret Spy.
Oh,
No? Brian, help me out.
all right. That's who it was.
Gotham Street
It was-
Shop, Sentry. What am I
It's
giving
gonna
Pat Six
be a
credit for?
movie.
If you want credit, you can come on here and take it yourself. Oh, the ancient one? All right, yeah, all right. I see. You did get that. I'll give that to you.
What was the answer? Ancient ones?
Oh,
Now, the answer was the Sentry. The Sentry.
Oh, Mandy said it's a seaman.
oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, but he left out the A.
Oh,
Yeah, the
Geez,
steam.
what
you know.
is your autocorrect default?
I'm going seaman.
All right. Very good. All right, let's head on over to Replay. We'll cruise through this, and then we'll get right into showing off some art here. We'll see how this goes. Well, I think you should be able to get this one. Your Mickey Mouse question is, what is the name of Captain America's original sidekick? Bucky Barnes for the win. What infamous government project? Oh, God. How do you see? This is comic karma come to roost.
How come I didn't get that weak ass question?
Hey, the universe may not like you today.
No, they don't.
What infamous government project augmented Wolverine's body by cloaking his skeleton in unbreakable metal?
Oh my God, dude. Come on, seriously?
It had two names, but the most easiest one was, he was even called this.
Weapon X Project.
Weapon X for the win. What demon is responsible for Peter Parker and Mary Jane Watson never getting married?
Mephisto.
Yeah.
Mephisto.
In the One More Day story. Look at this. You're on a roll. 3 for 3. What Avenger in future Guardians of the Galaxy was revealed to be the so-called Celestial Madonna? I've talked about this many times on the show. What Avenger and future member of the Guardians of the Galaxy was revealed to be the so-called Celestial Madonna?
Valkyrie?
Valkyrie is not correct. She wasn't on the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh.
But this character was actually in the movie.
I don't know.
Spec Collector for the win. Mantis was the Celestial Madonna.
Oh.
Mantis. Although it turned out she wasn't actually the Celestial Madonna, but that goes on another story.
Raphael got that.
Oh, Raph Jimenez got it? Okay. Raph is on the board. All right, I'm going to ask how long we into this thing. We're into this thing 17 minutes. All right, I got 3 minutes. I'll ask the chat so the chat can get in on these questions. What green-skinned Hulk villain is the alter ego of Emil Blonsky? What heroic... I'm just going to read off all four. Whoever gets any of them right first gets them. What heroic legacy name is the alter ego of Scott Lang? What mode of transport has Ghost Rider not magically utilized? A motorcycle, a helicopter, a car, or a horse? In the original comic, what was strange about Bova, the woman who helped raise Jessica Drew? God, Bova also raised Sue and Reed Richards' kids. All right, let's go back, see who got in on this first. James Fomictor first in the door with Ant-Man, so he's got a point there. Lugio Pagan Ponce Jace, I don't know what that means. We got Abomination first. Brian 12ish. Man, you're fast on those answers, Brian 12ish. So first one went to Brian 12ish. The second one goes to James Pemictor. The third one goes to Gotham Street Shop. And did anybody get the fourth question? Gotham Street Shop, I'm going to give that to you. She was a highly evolved cow. She was a highly evolved cow. All right, so Gotham Street, you're on the board with 2 answers right. James
I gotta
Poe.
get James' phone number.
James Poe got another one, and a bus, he said. All right, well, we did this specifically for Dapper Dan here. So tell us about your collecting, your original art collecting. Pickups, your dreams, your aspirations, what you collect in specifically.
So
in particular,
characters, I mean, like Miles, X-23. So characters like that. I really like Venom, Dylan Brock, especially like Dylan Brock. Now, anything other than that, yeah, I like picking up, especially like key issues. But I'm one that if there's an issue that I like, I don't need. I'm happy with just getting a page from that issue that I'm trying to go after. And I know a lot of people want the character or whatever that big significant of that issue is, but I'm happy with just getting a page from it. Like, for example,
show us, give us some eye candy here.
So this is the second appearance of Dylan Brock here with Eddie. So this is from Venom issue 10.
And who is Dylan Brock?
So Dylan Brock is Eddie Brock's son, and this he doesn't find out till later on that that's his dad. So at this time he thinks that they're brothers. And then so this is issue 9 is his first full appearance, which I have a page from that one too, but this is the the earliest page I have with him on it. So in this one, you see Eddie talking to Dylan, and he mentions that he killed someone young when he was younger, and that's kind of when everything kind of escalated down from there with the abuse with his father and everything. And then right here, you can actually see Symbiote right here, kind of lash out up here too. So it's a cool page to have. Like I said, I like Dylan a lot, but this is one of the pages I have. And another one that I recently just picked up is this is the second appearance. She's not on this one, but this is from NYX number 4, second X-23. So I found out also in this run for I believe the 6 issues of this story or this whole series, they didn't do anything with ink. So Josh Middleton did all the pencils, and then they scanned it and they digitally did the art or did the inks. So yeah, so that's how they did this. So this, I tried to hit up a couple people that had pieces from this issue or issue 3. No one wanted to sell it, but Southern Comic Geek actually messaged me when he found out someone was selling this piece finally. So I went ahead and picked this up, and I just got this, I think, last week. So like I said, anything to do with first, second, third appearances, key moments, as long as I can get a page from the book, I'm happy with it. So even though she's not on this one, I'm happy with it.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Now you had at least one more. You had a Laura one. You want to save that for the next round, or you want to go over that right now?
Are we just showing everything right now up front?
No, we'll come back to you. You can pull out the Laura here. We can go over that in a minute.
Okay, cool. I'll do that.
Eddie Fist of Fury, or actually, I'll tell you what. I don't have a ton of art, but I want to kind of mix things up from original art because I know Eddie Fist of Fury's got actually a lot of ground to cover here. One of the things that I like to do when I go to these conventions, like a lot of times we all just go to the comics section and don't go anywhere else. But Artist Alley is a really cool place, and you can meet some of these guys and get signatures and original drawings. This is one that I got a couple years ago. I don't think I've showed this on the show yet, why I pulled this one out. But this is an artist who did some covers for Marvel. He brought these with him to this small con I went to. It's Mark Lehner. He did a bunch of the art on the Gargoyles cartoon. Remember the Gargoyles cartoon was really big back in the day. But he's done a bunch of different covers. So I met him in person, had him sign these. But I mean, you can get these great. I always buy the top loaders. So you can get some good stuff in Artist Alley. Now this little known artist. I got this years ago. Nathan Zerdy signed print. So who is that, Replay? You know who that is?
It's not Elvira. It's whatever that show is. God damn it! I
know.
Well,
I know.
Go ahead. Give us the answer.
Petition.
From the Monsters, right?
No, not the Monsters.
They're
Morticia Adams. The Adams family. Morticia.
Yeah, Adams family. There you go. I knew it's one of those two.
So there's a bunch of great stuff like that you can get. Of course, this one's always been a fan favorite of people on the show. And like, I went back and found the guy years later and bought more copies of this. Dave something Esper. I wish I knew because I'd love to. People always ask me where I got this and where they can get a copy. I think this is a fantastic. This was a commissioned piece, and I think that's another really cool thing to pick up at conventions is you can get commissioned art right from the artist. But then there's other stuff like this that. I think what happened? I think my wife might have bought these for me. But I've got these set. This came out of Artist Alley at a convention.
Oh, that's cool.
This whole set of 4. So they don't have to be big name artists, but I think it's a unique event time to be able to pick up some really cool art that doesn't just sit in a comic book box. You don't ever get to see it again. All right, so let's head on over to Attribution Fury and let him show off his original art, because he's got some original art pages, right, for out of a comic book.
Yeah, I do, but I also wanted to show some of these, what to look out for, because I had to learn the hard way. And I'm going to show you this, for example. This is Sergeant Fury's Howling Commandos.
Oh, wild.
So it looks great. And what I would say to people is before you start buying all this stuff is if it's really cheap, it's probably not real. And what you find out is that this is a glossy piece. Definitely was not drawn on.
No, that is the production transparency.
Yeah, but it's not. Yeah, so you have to be aware of what you're getting yourself involved in. And I found that every time that you see these little color things down here,
those are the aligning marks.
Yeah, they're usually, when I see those on them, and I've found that those are always not the original art.
Right, they are part of the production process, and those are cool.
It should be like this one. It's like a cardboard. It should be like these, where it's like a cardboard, a thick cardboard that they draw on.
Cardstock,
cardstock. Yeah, not like this one. So I'm just basically wanted to show that
like
these are cool. These are cool. These are great to collect, but you have to not spend a lot of money on these.
Those are what they use in the production process for the printing process. Yeah, they're well, kind of like there's a colored version of that lays on top of a colored transparent. Here, actually, I've got one of these. I can show you what I'm talking about. So this one got gifted on me. These are stuff that I collect. So there is your colored version. It goes through several processes, and see how there's multiple sheets here. One's got the text, and they just layer them on top of one another to make the final printing. It's a really cool thing to have. I've collected quite a few of these over the years, but so there's multiple layers of transparencies that get stacked on one another to create the production process, and that's what he's got. And I must say, I don't see the big versions like that very often.
As long as you're aware of what you're buying, that's all I'm trying to say is.
Right.
And then there's the other type of you'll get is like this, and it's not the artwork, but it is signed and it is certified.
Yeah, it's a print.
It's a print.
Yeah.
But you don't want to, you want to make sure that you know for a fact that it's a print or original art. But it is still super cool. I love Daredevil, so this is a very nice thing. But you just have to be aware of what you're dealing with. And I kind of like. You want me to keep going?
Yeah, show one or two more. I've got some stuff from the community. If you are watching the show and you've got some original art you'd like me to show off, send it to me on my Instagram or email to me, and I will share it with the community. So I've got some stuff some people in the community sent me to show off, and I'm going to flex that here in a few minutes. Oh, that's cool.
I kind of preferred to go this route. These were, I didn't get it done, but I got this off eBay. It was Ron Wilson, and this is all penciled. It's original art. It's signed by him at the bottom down there. So I prefer this kind of stuff rather than the other two types I showed. I'm a big fan of Ron Wilson, and I have a bunch of his original here.
Oh, that's great.
I'll show some more on my next turn.
So those layout pages are specifically for creating cover art. Those are the layout pages that they typically will draw back when they actually drew with pencils and not just digital drawing pads.
You would expect to see these done at the Comic-Cons.
Right. But that's if you were going to create a cover for Marvel, that's the layout page they give you.
Okay, well, I'll show you some more when my turn comes around.
All right. Well, Replay doesn't have a whole lot of original art, but let me ask you, what two artists are you most interested in buying books for? The two artists you think people should have an eye on, or people should look out to purchase? What two artists?
Yeah. So Frank Whitley, he's a Scottish artist. Did a lot of work with Grant Morrison. Did that All-Star Superman run. Did a bunch of did some X-Men. Did a lot of indie stuff. The guy is an incredible artist.
You said he did the Ultimate Batman stuff?
No, he did the All-Star Superman. I think that's what James Gunn is. He kind of basing some of the movie on. Also would recommend buying issue number 1 if you can get one cheap at a 9.8. But yeah, Frank Whitley. Show them your crack price. He's awesome. A second guy is Grandpa. He does. He's another guy that just pops up every once in a while. Really unique style. Really gritty style. Does some Batman stuff. I think he just did a Batman run. As a matter of fact, it was like a trade paperback. There was like 5 books that just came out last year. Guy does insane artwork. But yeah, they'd be the two artists that I would key in on. Why you could probably get it inexpensive. I don't think you're buying Frank Miller stuff right now cheap. So
right,
yeah, definitely.
Frank Willem. I tried to look him up here. Maybe I didn't get that right.
Who? Frank Whitley?
Whitley. Oh, W-I-T.
Whitley. So Whitley did this. Yeah, I'll pull this down.
W-I-T.
Q-U-I-E-T-L-Y. So it's this guy.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
All right, I found him.
Yeah, he does some really great stuff.
Oh, he did the new X-Men stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, he did a Masters of the Universe cover. Let's look at that. That's worth a peek. Battle Lines cover. Boy, I don't have that one. I thought I had them all. I don't remember that one. That's an expensive book too. Figures.
There.
All-Star Superman. There you go. That's the one you wanted to talk about here.
So that book right there. Yeah, his artwork is phenomenal.
Okay, and then who was the other?
Grampa. So it's Grampa. I think it's Raphael. Grampa. I'm sorry. MPA. Yeah.
Grandpa.
Yeah, Raphael Grampa. Yeah.
Dark Knight Returns. What do we want to look at here?
Well, that gargoyle right there, Batman Gargoyle, is what I was just talking about. And he did Berserker too. I forgot about that.
Oh yeah, that looks real nice. Good lighting.
Yeah, real good up and coming artist. He's been around for I don't know, maybe 5 years, 6 years now. But
see you, James.
Oh, great stuff. Great stuff.
Yeah, definitely a guy I forgot he did Berserkers. That's a pretty big book, actually. And obviously, that, without a doubt, is going to be a movie or something, because that's that
Keanu Reeves, absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, let's go over to Dapper Dan here. Show off your other Laura Kinney here while I call up the images that were sent to me by people to show off.
Yeah. So I managed to pick this up. This is from the new series, or the series out now. This is Laura Kinney Wolverine. This is the cover A original art.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so if you have issue 1, this is the cover. I woke up like in the middle of the night, and comic art fans, that's a good site to go to if you want to see original art and people that sell them. And the handler that was selling this posted it like at 2:30 in the morning for sale, and I messaged them as soon as I saw it, and I ended up getting it. So to get a character that I really like, first issue cover, yeah, I know it's not it's not a full like drawn out like stuff in the background, but I think this is a great pose. So Cassandra Alagrande did this, so I got that one.
All right, well, that's a great question. The comment plan is asking, where do you guys buy your original art? You get it at cons, you buy them off eBay, you get them, where have you been getting them?
Most of the stuff that I've picked up so far have been on comicartfans.com. I mean, there's different handlers. There's Anthony Comic Art that sell original art. You can go through the handlers. So a lot of a lot of things. If you're a certain artist that you're looking for, you can go to their Instagram, and usually above where their bio is, they'll say whoever their handler is or how to reach them for original art. So that's another way to try to get a hold of them. But yeah, there's different, like Moy. I think Amoy. I think that's how you say it. I might be wrong, but Southern might know. But he's the one that handles Jim Lee, Jay Lee, a lot of big names like that. So there's a bunch of websites, honestly. And then
I use Anthony also.
The which one?
Anthony also.
Yeah, Anthony. Yeah.
He has a YouTube channel. He has a YouTube channel where you can go on there and he shows a whole lot of art.
So there's a little bit better image of the up close work. I mean, really, really fantastic stuff. There was his original art page where it's interesting how they were deciding to show him in costume or not in costume on his original art page here.
So that, hold on a sec. Pull my stuff up.
But you can see the layout pages there. You get the text on the layout page where they align it to scan it.
So that's actually Tiana Tumis' first appearance, not in this in this issue, but in this panel, or I think one of the top one. She actually says her name, which is Starling. So this is the first time you hear her name. This is from her first appearance, and so yeah, I was managed to pick that up. And actually, this one, Southern again, he was at an art show in Florida, and so when he went out there, he was sending me videos of people, people that were displaying their art or people that were displaying original art that they owned. So he came across that page and he sent it to me, and I was looking at it, and I recognized it. So I ended up looking it up. Sure enough, I found the guy that owned it. It was on tour for a year and a half, going around to different cons and different shows and different art museums. So this was posted in different art museums for like a year and a half. And the guy I reached out to, he ended up selling it to me. Wow. Which I was surprised, that he sold it.
That is excellent stuff here. I've got a couple more images in this stack here. Actually, I want to talk a little bit more about that image here. But Collecto6 sent me some of these here. That's a creature from the Black Lagoon. Looks like he's hanging out in a swimming pool. This one I absolutely love.
That's what was it, Darwin or what? Darwin Cook? Dude, that's staying.
Yes.
That kind of has like a Bruce Timm vibe almost.
It is. I'm just drawing a blank on his name here. Let me think about
Darwin Cook.
If he was in the chat, he would probably pipe up and tell us. I am drawing a complete blank on his name here.
I can go.
There are some more. He sent me a bunch of Linsner stuff that is a little too risque for me to show. But I wanted to talk about was Bill Ward. For Deborah. I mean, I love that art style.
That's cool. Yeah, I like the
Black Canary. If he was in the chat, he'd tell us. That one I didn't recognize, but that's the original artist for.
That's Bruce Timm.
Yeah, Tim Drake, or what is it? Absolute? What was it?
No, that's Batman Beyond.
Batman Beyond. Thank you. But this is Bill Ward. He did the infamous Torchy series from the Golden Age. And what was really what I always remember about Bill Ward is that they really like didn't color his art very well and like toned it way down on the covers, but the art inside the comics were absolute fire. And I Collecto 6 has this framed on his wall. It almost looks like the little corner art they used to put in Playboy magazine a lot. In fact, that's where I thought I saw him first, but
I thought that was Russ Heath.
Yeah, right. It's Rush. Yeah, right. That's not who it was, but that's what I thought of when he first sent that to me. I was like, oh no, that's got to be Bill Torchy, or Bill from Torchy, Bill Ward. See if I can call this up real quick, because I saw one of my favorite cover from Torchy is the Uncle Sam one, trying to recruit for the Navy. I said, you're barking up the wrong tree, putting pinup girls in Navy stuff. Teasing. I'm teasing because Paul's not here.
I was gonna say, yeah, Paul could have showed his collection.
Oh, you're not
Navy drawings.
You're not gonna let me blow it up. All right, I'll keep going. Sorry, I did not do a ton of preparation for this show, if you can't tell. This got sent to me by Mark MMM, which brings up a great point. Is like conventions are a great time to get original cover art done on blanks. There's a lot of really good artists. They may not be well known, but they can usually bang out a cover for you in 20 minutes or whatever. So you can commission a piece, walk around, and then come back and pick it up. So he got some of these stray dogs here, remarked, signed. Got a Kevin Eastman.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And the infamous Greg Horn, a Greg Horn I've never seen. So that's an original Greg Horn piece, and it's Bree Play's favorite character there.
Doesn't he usually just sign GH?
Yes, he will often sign that @ symbol thing, GH, like Adam Hughes does that too. It's like he wants more money the more letters he has to write. Yeah, there's his GH.
Like on the right there, yeah.
There's his GH.
So he signed it twice.
That's cool. A beautiful piece. He had that commissioned, and it was signed to him, right? Let's see here. I'll have to share a different window for this one. Let's see if I can just share my whole screen, make this a little bit easier. Yes, there we go. Tony Ann Y, who couldn't be here, sent these over to me. The lovely Lady Death.
Lady Death, yeah.
A little risque. This one I thought was absolutely fire. See how that's on a layout page too? So that's either a cover or Amazing Spider-Man.
It's a cover, yeah.
Number 60, I recognize that. Variant cover.
That is sick.
How beautiful is that?
Oh, wow. That's so cool.
Yeah, that's the kind of paper you want to see them on, not like that glossy.
Well, it's got the layout line so they can scan it. This goes up on a big drafting board. With the Marvel logo on it. Art, all bleed art must extend to solid lines. So you even got the instructions there.
That's so cool.
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah, I definitely read it for the articles. This is another great one.
Oh, Vampirella.
A little Vampirella action. And like, what I always find fascinating, because usually like if you're doing art, there's usually a lot of like blue layout lines or light pencil lines that they go over.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not seeing much of that here. It's like a one and done type of situation. I don't remember who you told me this was, so bear with me if anybody knows. But Tony NY is a big tell us who this is, Tony NY. I know you're watching. How good is that?
Ooh.
That's a Perillo.
Wow.
An original Perillo.
so cool.
I like that one.
Harley.
Oh,
Reminds me
Harlequin.
of the 50s.
Mm-hmm. Well, kind of almost anime face style, but
Yeah.
like Harlequin in her original iteration. Really, I mean, it looks like the cartoon a lot, other than the big eyes. But oh yeah, that was one that I showed the other night from RB White. I bought a bunch of his stuff because I thought it was really good. These are prints, 11 by 17 prints that you can get by the top loader. Don't risk taking it home without the top loader. I'll see if anybody else sent me any more art, and I will be happy to flex it off for people.
Southern? Did you show Southerns? He said he sent some.
All right, I'll let me. Eddie Fitzfury, you got more to show off while I get some stuff uploaded here?
Yeah, if you want me to go.
Yeah, go ahead. Tread some water while I download some more images.
Okay, I was going to say that one of the things that I like to do, so I showed some of these G.I. Joes before.
Yeah, briefly, dig out some good artist covers that you think people should chase.
So when I get these, I always try to get the book to go with it. Keep it as a combo.
Yeah, that's cool. Keep it in the
Print
back.
out the page. So you see that page there at the top? That's the same as this.
That's cool.
I kind of backed off on collecting this kind of art, but when I first started collecting, that's what I was doing. Here's another.
Sorry, I'm trying to figure out how to do this again. There we go.
So here's another G.I. Joe. This is from number 241, page 17. And if you look at the back, I have the magazine and the page to go with it. And another one here, another G.I. Joe. I don't know how to say his name. Shearer. This is Shearer's art. So number 198, page 6. And here is the book and the page.
That's cool. I've never seen that done before from anyone. That's cool though. Save it all together.
Yeah.
Good way to
Sometimes it's difficult though. You know, I wanted to show this one here. This is Action Comics. No, World's Finest 257. Sometimes when you're collecting some of these, you know, the book is just to have a raw copy is very, very expensive. And
Yeah.
I try to get the best book I can to go with them. Keep it as a set.
Do you have any? Oh, I'm sorry. Go on.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna ask you. Do you have any art that has the word bubbles where they have to glue it on?
Oh, where they do the they're basically doing revisions.
Yeah.
I have a bunch of that stuff, but I just kind of brought this bigger art. This might be kind of like what you're talking about. So I actually never heard of this before, but maybe somebody here has. So this is the book, Blood of the Innocent. And I ended up getting this, as we talked about before, the acetate page and the colors, and they put it together.
Oh yeah.
But on top of that, I ended up getting the art.
Oh, nice.
That matches it.
Oh, that's super. That's nice.
Yeah, you know, the only thing is that nobody's ever heard of this or whatever. But I don't know how that resell would be when you have it all together like this. But I don't really think that answered your question. But one of those, because I have two of those Blood of Innocence.
Oh, here they come. I got a lot more images coming in right now.
And this one here has what you're talking about. It has like the little bubbles. It's on the back. It's actually behind the original page. You can't see it, but it's
Okay.
included. If I took that out of there, you could see it, but it's kind of fragile. They're fragile. I don't like messing with it.
Yeah, and that's what I was gonna ask you. Like, I've never owned anything like that old or anything that's had something like that, and I would be too nervous to try to get it.
Oh yeah, I mean, I still have more, so if somebody else wants to go, we can come back to me.
Yeah, I've got some loaded up here that people sent me. Southern Comic Geek, I sent you the link if you want to come on and describe your.
Oh yeah, Southern's the one.
Describe your stuff. Yeah, there he is. There he is, lurking. What's up, buddy?
There he is.
All right, so let me do this, and I can actually open up your images here, and you can just talk about them.
You're taking lessons from the hand model. Don't go too far with it.
So yeah, that is Sal Buscema, Incredible Hulk 290. That's actually the death of the Abomination, and that is the page he dies on. This is from the first Incredible Hulk issue I ever bought. And so yeah, Sal Buscema, known for his 80s run in Hulk, Spectacular Spider-Man, among other things. Obviously his brother, a much well-loved artist as well. So.
Yeah, Mr. and Mrs. MODOK there.
That's right. And this is also the issue. Mrs. MODOK goes back to being, was it her name, Karen or Catherine? Wendigo or whatever?
Probably a Karen. It's hard to say it wasn't a Karen. So this one also looks like it's got some taped on panels, like this saw some revisions here.
So, I think somebody, maybe it was Mark that mentioned a while ago about paste ups. And so sometimes in the process, especially back in the day, you had artistic decisions that were made by editorial later on. Yep. In this particular case, if you look at the art is actually under there, but they decided to change the order of which those panels laid. So they took the art and stuck it on there, but the same art is actually behind there. Yeah.
So this actually has the page number on it, what issue it is.
Yep. So you'll notice with the older pages, back then they still used the word bubbles, instead of going to the computerized things,
right,
which in the 90s had kind of done away with. Also, the older pages, because they used to be on those boards, they would take the knife and cut it off out of the tape because this stuff was throwaway, right?
Right.
It wasn't worth anything back then. So a lot of the older pages are going to be having corners cropped out.
This was impressive.
So
you've got both pages for like a 2-page art layout. I've never seen one of those yet. This is the first time I've seen this.
So
tell us about this one.
Yeah, so this is from the Sabretooth Red Zone one-shot. If y'all recall, Sabretooth is running from X Factor. This is back in the 90s when he would get captured and becomes part of X Factor. So this is also leads into the storyline where he trashes Archangel's wings and his wings grow back normal feathers. So this is actually the scene where he trashes the wings. This is done by Gary Frank, known for his 90s run, replacing Dale Keown. Also, Gary Frank currently doing Geiger, Doomsday Clock, a bunch of different stuff. But this is him early on. And this is the scene where it happened. I actually have 8 pages from this issue.
Fantastic. Beautiful work there for sure. I noticed this. I've seen this before too. It's like that's the dialogue pages that made it on there, it looks like.
Yeah, so by then they had done away with that. And that book actually has some, people collect whatever, but there's some good Twin Tower references in that issue.
Oh, great. All right, what's this Ralph Macchio one?
Well, so not Ralph Macchio to be confused with the Karate Kid. This is the Ralph Macchio that was a writer and editor at Marvel for a number of years. I got him to sign the art because he was the writer. and this is from Transformers the movie adaptation, issue number 2. If Paul was here, I would school his Transformers knowledge to see what's different between the Marvel adaptation and the actual movie, because this is a big scene in the movie, but it is different in the comic than what it ended up in the movie.
Right. This is where they get thrown in the pit. They get judged by the Quintessons and the Sharkicons, or they're in the tank.
Yeah.
When Wheelie and Grimlock come to save the day.
Well,
but I would think it's interesting because they used to use this blue pencil for layouts, because when they could scan it, they could remove, before the digital age, the blue ink is something that didn't go through the Diazo machine.
So some use blue, some use red, but a blue pencil is different than what you might hear referred to as blue lines in the art world. So blue pencil is used by the artist so they kind of laid out where the blocks should go, which was typically done by the letterer. So they were laying it out where it would go with a blue pencil. So blue lines is more of a computer process, and so which we'll talk about on the next piece. But yeah, this piece differs from the movie because Grimlock is thrown into the pit with them here. Whereas if you recall, Grimlock and Wheelie come and save the day.
Save the day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
yeah, because they used to scan these on Diazo machines, which they were just doing away with when I got into drafting, and the chemicals that would come off of that. But that's why we'd use blue pencil for those layouts, because the Diazo machine wouldn't pick those up. But that's a really cool issue. Too bad Paul wasn't here to tell us about how different the GoBots were than this.
That's right. Well, and the great thing about that particular page is that the word bubbles are not glued on. So especially in the Valiant stuff, the word bubbles were glued on and they fall off and they leave awful stains. These were actually drawn onto the page. So
yeah, you can see where they just roughed the blue line out for what type of, the location and roughly where they wanted that word bubble to be, and then they came in and you can see the layout lines for the text. There's a little drafting tool we use for that.
Yeah, the artist on this page is Don Perlin, known for a lot of his Valiant work, but certainly his Marvel stuff, he was no slouch because he was one of the creators of Moon Knight. So there you go.
Awesome. Well, thanks, buddy. I appreciate you coming on, explaining this to us, because we don't get to see stuff like this all the time. Did you get that? Did I get it all? I think I uploaded everything that I saw, but let me go back and take a look. Oh, you
that's not me.
Nope.
There it is. Right there.
Oh yeah.
Did I miss that one?
Yeah.
That's probably my favorite piece you own, man. That is so cool.
So while MT is getting it pulled up, this is Greg Capullo and Jonathan Clapian, who did separate ink boards. And so the pencils are done by Greg Capullo. He scanned them in. Jonathan prints them out on a blue line. And this one that I sent MT is actually the blue line as Jonathan naturally inked over it. So this one's actually in 2 pieces. So it's one of the other things you have to watch with in the art world is buying. If there's one out there, a lot of people like them to stay together, but sometimes they get separated. This particular page is the first fight between Batman and a Talon. This is from Batman number 2 of the New 52, the first appearance of the Talon. This is the second page he's on and the first fight between him and Batman.
Double page spread, cut as shown. Butt pages, tape on back, do not overlap. There you go. So that's a good way to know if you've got a double page, huh?
Well, and the particular one that shows the Talon from the behind, the pencil page has them reversed. And they have the Talon on the left and Bruce on the right. And there's a note on that page that says, please reverse them. And so it was done digitally. Then the whole page was printed out. Jonathan Clapian inked it. I've actually got both pages and the comic page up on my wall at my office, but I'm thinking about taking it down and getting Greg Capullo to sign it at Dallas Fan Expo in a few months. So,
there you go. Yeah, that's awesome. That's great stuff. It's a beautiful page. A beautiful page. So, where do you get your art from for the most part? You pick it up at conventions, or are you getting it directly from the artist? Where do you recommend people source their original art?
Yeah, there's only certain conventions because conventions are a lot of times cosplay shows nowadays. You really you get some at the artist's table, but a lot of artists have reps, as Mark mentioned earlier, that you have to buy from. The reps aren't normally at the Dallas Fan Expos of the world. Heroes Con, Baltimore are two big art shows. But yeah, a lot of times I'm buying it off CAF, Heritage, Sucks Me Dry a lot of times, Comic Link, Comic Connect. These are all big websites for that type of thing. And then on like Comic Art Fans, as Mark alluded to earlier, you get interacting with people, and there's a lot of great stuff. I mean, first appearances. I mean, I know who owns the Ultimate Fallout 4 cover, the Amazing Spider-Man 300 cover, all that stuff like that, and to be able to see it in person, like we did at the show in Florida, was fantastic.
So this is a Lopez drawing that Gotham Street Shop sent me. Looks like Wonder Woman to me. And this is like one of the first stages of doing a lot of the bigger pieces of art. See how he's testing different postures, like her hands in different places. And he decided, I want her arm to be up and then give her a sword and stuff. So we should ask Breplay. He went to art school too. He used to do a lot of this, almost like a gesture drawing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they call that a prelim.
Mm-hmm.
And so is that Jose Luis Garcia Lopez?
Mm-hmm. Indeed.
Yeah. So a guy has pulled out boxes, because he was basically DC style, stylist of how these characters look, on merchandising art, like the Batman toys, like that one. You recognize it as one of the backdrops on that card, the Batman Return toys. But yeah, so he did a lot of that stuff, and he had it in boxes. And the guy is helping Jose, who's up in age now.
Oh, you can actually see where the punch out is on the card for the action figure.
Yep. He
actually drew that in there. That's fantastic.
And so he would send that to editorial or whoever was handling the toys and say, hey, is this kind of what you're thinking about? And like you said, it was a prelim.
And we used to, this is the same type of drawing or paper stock we use in the drafting business. We used to call this bumwad. They call this bumwad because it was thin, cheap paper you could do a lot of sketching on. And that's kind of why it looks like it does. That's not unusual. Not unusual for the initial prelim sketches.
Yeah, they call vellum. It might be the same thing, but they call it vellum, and it's a really thin piece of paper.
Yeah, vellum. Yeah, it is vellum. Vellum is the type of paper, and there's different thicknesses. But the cheap stuff that they sketch on, the colloquial term is bumwad because you'd get it on a big roll, you could cut it off the length and just run with it. But yeah, so it is vellum, which the original vellum was made of animal skins back in the day, but it is semi-transparent. You could trace over it, lay a different sheet of vellum on top of another one to see the drawing underneath. It had a bunch of uses. So he sent me this one, and I'm glad that he did because I'm a huge Finch fan.
Yep.
And he's got this Finch Batman. Finch is so good. He is so good.
Oh, yeah.
So thanks for sending that over, buddy. I think I got them all. Norse Cali sent me one too. Oh, actually, the Finch was Norse Cali.
Yeah, the Finch is crazy.
Let me check out over the Instagram, see if I didn't miss anybody else here. Yeah, I think I got them all. Those couple Batmans came. Oh, this is the other thing that Gotham sent me, which I thought was cool. Another thing that you can pick up at cons real easy is remarks.
Yeah.
So he's got this black and white. Looks like he got a remark inside of a hardcover book here.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's great.
Can be an inexpensive way to get a little bit of original art. So thanks for sending that along.
That looks like a Walt Simonson there.
Sure. Well, you're missing. Yeah, that does look very much like his signature, but he usually has the big loop in the middle.
But
so funny how Louise Simonson and his wife and him have a very similar signature. It can almost be hard to tear them apart. All right, well, here we go. He got some original art from a 7-year-old. It didn't come through, or I'd show you. All right, there we go. All right, looks good. This looks like Paul stuff, but very good job. She's got a superhero cereal bowl. I like it. Pop-Tart.
Yeah, so Gotham Street said that was correct. That was Walt Simonson's.
Yes. Yeah. He does the back loop underline a lot. And Louise is the one that has the big O in the middle of her signature, if I remember correctly, because I got a bunch of their stuff. Breakfast food based original art. Well, you never know. That could be worth $1 billion. All right, so let's go over to Breplay. Did you pull out a couple cover?
Yeah, I did. So
covers from some artists you think we should be paying attention to?
Yeah, all right. So that is Frank Quitely doing Batman and Robin. This was the Frank Miller, Jim Lee run. This is the 1-in-10 ratio, and it was recalled because they used the C word in there, and it got published. And so this is the recalled copy. You can get your hands on this one. They're very hard to find, but it's I think it's one of Frank's best works. I did pull another one that you really don't. I never see this book anywhere. This is Grandpa doing Strange Tales. So you got Wolverine, Captain America, Thor, Hulk, Spider-Man. His style, I just love his style. So if you
very reminiscent of Frank Miller, if I must say so myself.
All right, this is a really cool book. This is from the first Turtles run. I think it's one of the best Eastman Turtles covers that he ever did. This is issue 50, so this is the end of the run. Expensive book, but also in the back of this book, which I don't know if I've ever showed this before, is, to my knowledge, the only time Mr. You know who that is?
Sorry, let me grab something.
That's McFarlane.
McFarlane, yeah, he likes to do the chains and the webbing. So yeah, not a cheap book, especially in high grade. City of War, the end of that run, they're very expensive books. Obviously, I love Moon Knight, and Bill Sienkiewicz just recently did this cover. Now, Sienkiewicz did a lot of great Moon Knight covers in volume 1 of Moon Knight, but he did just recently do this. I think it's a complete masterpiece. Cheap book, you can still pick this up, probably $10. And the last book, and I don't know why this book does not get love, is Spawn 300, homaging ASM 300. I mean, I don't know. How can you go wrong with McFarlane homaging himself, redoing Spawn? Right.
You know. Now this book has gone up significantly over the past couple months, and there is like a gold and a silver one as well. But this is just the regular one. In high grade, it's up. I guess it's like $100 book now. So yeah, they're just a couple books. You know, if you see them, pick them up. I think right now, they're good. I mean, for me, I've been buying a lot of 70s and 80s Batman, like the Jim Aparo covers, Neil Adams, stuff like that. I think they're still affordable. They're not cheap, but they're still definitely affordable. So yeah, I'm definitely picking a lot of that stuff up too. So, but that's DC. We don't talk a lot about DC, but so yeah.
Well, you made me think about something when Southern was talking there about something that I picked up at a con years and years ago. I think I've shown this once or twice before.
Oh,
but
yeah.
this is the original production art for The Empire Strikes Back.
Oh, that's cool.
For The Empire Strikes Back, and I've got the entire set. I bought the entire set. I thought about actually framing it all. It would take up an entire wall. But some of these great movie artists, they do like layout boards to try and figure out what they're going to do to set scenes to shoot the movie. So here they're on the frozen planet of Hoth. There's your recon droid. But I really love this type of art. There he is in the back of the tank.
Oh yeah, is that Vader? Did they didn't use that in the movie, right? So that's
no. This is when Luke gets his hand cut off, and they put him in the back of the tank at the end.
Oh, okay.
This is the end of the movie, which I don't know why it's number 7 on the print. But there's the Battle of Hoth again. There's Hoth in the bay with the Millennium Falcon and the X-wings. I think that's a Y-wing in the background, and those are A-wings, I think, right?
Sure.
There's the big cannon. Let's try these faster. More Battle of Hoth.
That's great right there.
How cool is that one?
Yeah, that's great.
The A-wing doing the maneuver with the cable.
Oh yeah, there it
That's
is.
the after. It's funny how much of these were from Hoth, but this is the complete set. He's riding a dinosaur instead of the that white Bangta, whatever that was. There he is when he got shot down. There's Vader on the command ship. There's one I'm trying to get to. The Cloud City one is fantastic. There he is on Dagobah. Another Dagobah with Yoder. When you got to remember, this is the first movie we saw Yoda too, right?
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So there's him training with Yoder.
Okay. Yeah.
This is the one that's actually on the cover of the holder that it comes in. Beautiful Cloud City.
Oh yeah. All right.
Just beautiful, beautiful artwork. There he is with Lando. I mean, this is actually one of my favorite ones in the whole set because of all the building stuff that I draw. So
That one's cool too.
remember, you actually see them from the outside of the window when they're held up in the apartments before they go to dinner with Vader. Of course, the big epic throwdown battle at the end. Luke, I am your father scene. That's where they fight. Remember, that's actually
that's the father scene. Yeah,
right, where he blows out the window, and then they go out on the end of one of those things to fight.
Oh, there it is, right there.
But I got this relatively cheap. Relatively cheap at a show. They had all 3, and I was going to buy all 3 movies, but of course, as we all know, this is the best movie of the trilogy. So I bought this one and not the other ones. Looking back, I really should have. Now, I just ordered this in the mail, and I got this in. I really like the painted art style. I got to be careful about showing which of these images. I posted some of these to my Instagram, but Frank Frazetta, one of my favorite fantasy artists. So if you can't afford original art, sometimes it's cool to pick up one of these art gallery books. Tells you a little bit about him, but
Yeah.
Frank Frazetta is one of the iconic fantasy artists.
I think doesn't he he has a museum in Pennsylvania, right?
Yes, he does. Yes, he does. So there's a gallery of his work. But I do like the oil paint looking stuff, which is kind of, I think, why I like Eddie Granoff. Eddie Granoff has like an oil paint type looking style to his artwork. All right, well, I got to be careful about what else I show in here because some of these are rather risque. Nope, not that one. Never mind. I can't show that one. All right, well, at any rate, let us know what you guys are collecting. You got anything else you can show it off here? Dapper Dan, you got anything else you want to show us?
I got one more I could show real quick. This is actually gonna be for sale. Just anyone's interested, hit me up. This is from Immortal Hulk issue 1. So
okay.
yeah, so Joe Bennett. So in this one, he gets he's at the corner store and he ends up there's a holdup. So I guess he's trying to stop them, Bruce Banner, and he ends up getting shot in the face pretty much. So this is at the morgue, and this is the first transformation into Immortal Hulk in this series. So this is like I said, issue 1, page 9. So
Sweet.
Cool page. Yeah, if anyone's interested, hit me up because there's something else that I want, and then I'll show this one real quick. Like I said, I like the key books on certain characters, and if I can get a page from it, even though if they're not able to be on there, I'm happy with it still. This is from X-Men 450, which is the first meetup with the X-Men and Lower Kenny X-23. So in this one, this is when Logan and Storm go to the morgue, and this is actually the first appearance of Doc, and I think this is the only time he's actually in the series. So he ends up telling them that these guys were slashed with a claw, just like Logan. So he ends up showing them the bodies, and then they realize it's someone that's similar to him. So they end up telling him that the person that did it, or the thing that did it, they don't know what it was or who it was, that they're at a nightclub. So I think a couple pages later, they ended up tracking Laura down at a nightclub, and then that's when they started getting into it. And that's when she, towards the end, slashes his face like all down here. And then that's when they start fighting in the next issue. And that's when then she actually joins the team as the next issue.
Yeah.
So Alan Davis.
Yeah, that's Claremont and Alan Davis.
Claremont.
Yeah, Claremont came back with that.
So yeah, this is probably my favorite one that I have. I mean, I love the cover I have, but like I said, to get a page from a book that honestly, X-Men 450 is by far my favorite X-Men cover, even though it's just her on it, just dead in the middle. Right. That's my favorite. Yeah.
Eddie Fizz of Fury, you got something else you want to show us here? We got a couple minutes left. We're about out of time.
I have 5, so I'll go real quick. I have this from Human Torch number 6, original cover.
Oh, wow.
That's cool.
That is a fire piece.
That's Ron Wilson art. I'm going to move through real quick. This is Ron Wilson as well.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Dr. Doom.
I showed this on the show, so I'm not gonna stay on it too long. And then this is from the Justice Society of Earth, Crisis of Infinity Earth, and this art piece came from Tony, or Anthony, as Mr. Collector said. And see if we can get up in here. So you got Flash. I think his name is Suter, S-U-R-T-U-R.
Yep.
And Flash is going around him real quick. And then they put little panels in there showing people's faces up close.
Yep.
And this is what it looks like originally in the book. Real quick, hopefully.
Yeah, great.
All right, so then I wish I could have spent more time on that one. But one of the hardest things to do is to get 2 pages in a row.
That's
so this right here, this is by Dick Ayers art, and this is Men of War number 21.
Mm-hmm.
And I got it, and then I happened to run across this one, and they were, according to the thing, it was page 14 and page 19. Yeah, page 14 and page 19. But when I got the book, they are in consecutive order because
There's an ad.
14
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
14 goes into a couple of advertisements.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
great.
So then the next actual panel is the one that I have.
That's cool.
That is very.
And so, and what that is that's the Nazis attacking or landing. They came on air or submarines, and they came to Atlantic City, basically.
Yeah, that's great. Oh, you got a U-boat in there too? Look at that. Very nice.
Yeah.
All right, so in our closing moments here, Eddie Fissifury, give me your top 3 favorite artists.
Schomburg. Man.
Ralph Wilson,
probably.
you could have said. I put you on the spot.
Yeah.
That's right. You think about it, I'll come back to you. Dapper Dan, top 3 artists either that you like or you think people should be keeping an eye out for.
Alex Ross, always gonna be my number one. His stuff is just crazy though. Alex Ross, Greg Capullo. I mean, I love his Batman work. And then I would say Jim Lee. I really do, but I'm gonna be honest. When it comes to Batman, I think no one comes near David Finch.
Yeah.
I think David Finch is just, like nothing against Jim Lee. I love Jim Lee, but I think Batman wise, I think for sure David Finch is the man for that.
All right, let's go over and see who Frank Miller's got. Top 3 artists, not named Frank Miller.
I mean, Frank Miller is number 1. Doesn't not even close. Has to be number 1. I'll tell you what. I'll definitely say McFarlane number 2.
Oh yeah.
He changed the game, man. He definitely changed the game, and yeah, he gets tons of respect though. And you know what? Number 3, I might actually say, Collecto showed that pick. That Darwin Cook was one of the best artists. Now he's dead now, died like 10 years ago. But a lot of his DC stuff was so awesome. It was very like reminiscent of like Golden Age work.
Golden Age stuff, absolutely.
Yeah, and it was just cool to see that, So, and he did a lot of really cool DC stuff, a lot of Batman, Wonder Woman, Superman. So I would definitely throw him in there, man.
Yeah, beautiful stuff. So for me in particular, I've got different artists for different eras. My favorite modern, like current artists that you can buy right now that are still doing work right now would be Frank Cho, David Finch, Adi Granoff, and I have to say Esad Ribic as well. It's hard for me to not like. I mean, those guys are great. Eddie McGuinness, I think it's like Frank Cho's like a little bit same style as Eddie McGuinness. But beyond that, like the older stuff, slightly older. Obviously, I'm a huge Michael Turner fan. He's no longer with us. Died way too early. But fantasy artists, I like Frank Frazetta artwork. Just another great fantasy artist I'm drawing a blank on, but what happens when you get put on the spot, right? But obviously Jack Kirby, Steve Ditko, Dick Ayers, some of the big time major ones. But I want to thank everybody for being here tonight. If you would like to come on the show and talk comics or comic book related info, I don't have a concept picked out for next week, but I'd love to have you on here. Hit me up. We'll bring you on as a guest. If you want to come on and flex some books that you just picked up recently, we will be doing that as well. I want to thank my panelists again. We'll go back to Ed Craze and see if he came up with another artist. You give us.
Well, actually, I have them right here on the. I showed this in the auction the other night. Bellman and Bald. They did the Captain America.
Oh wow! Is that a print?
This is a print from a Comic-Con, but they both signed it. It's got the authenticity.
Yeah. That looks great.
But the guys that worked on these original Captain Americas and Carmine Infantino, I liked, and Kirby, of course. So yeah, this kind of stuff. I mean, Captain Captain America #1 is my favorite book of all times, basically.
Yep. And don't forget, guys, go visit Artist Alley. Get yourself some prints, some original art. Get a sketch done at a con. You never know, they may blow up later on, or just buy stuff you like. That's what I do. And keep an eye out for sharks. Keep an eye out for sharks. But thanks again, everybody, for watching, tuning in. Please smash that like button. And Madhouse is going live right now. So head on over to Madhouse and bid on some books. They're live right now. So I want to thank my panel again. Thanks, everybody, for watching. And we will see you all in the funny pages.